It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery and I share my life with you. So, I am going to do a meditation this evening. I thought that the response, thanks, babe. The response I got from the last one I did was really good. Y'all seem to really enjoy when I come on and do these meditations in the evening. So even if you don't watch it at night and you just watch it in the morning, it's a good way to start your day. So let's do it. Okay. September 19th. Let's see. All right. Hey, what's up? So, September 19th, and I'm going to read out of this book. It's called Courage to Change. Hey, Tara, what's up, girl? Well, email it to me still so that way I can talk to you away from here. Yeah, I didn't come on last night and do a video. I think I came on like briefly, then I'm stuttering. I came on and I deleted the video because here's the thing. Whenever I do a video, if I like talk about other YouTubers or I kind of like say anything about anybody else in there, I don't like to leave those videos up. Hey, Angel, because I don't want to have any drama and I'm not trying to like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm talking, like, and it's not bad, I'm just, like, sharing my opinion. Because my channel is about recovery and, like, positivity and support and helping others. Like, I try to keep all that kind of, like, drama stuff off this channel. And also because I just try to keep it out of my life in general. Because whenever I, like, okay, so here's the thing. I'm human, y'all. I mean, I'm a woman, first of all, and we all know how us women are. It's so easy to get caught up in gossip and hearsay, and I know a lot of people have gotten, like, caught up in gossip and not even given me a chance. Like, they won't even know who I am, and they'll hear bad about me, and then they won't even give me a chance. So, like, I don't ever want to do that to somebody else. So I try to practice what I preach on my channel in my real life, you know? So I just try to, if I'm going to put positivity out on my channel, then I want to get that, I feel like if I put that out on my channel, then that's what I'm going to get back in my life. If I'm on here and I'm constantly making like exposing videos and drama videos, then that's what my life is going to be full of, drama, and also with those kind of videos, it brings a different crowd of people. It doesn't bring a crowd of people who are trying to be better in their life. It brings a crowd of people who they like to be messy. They want to have mess in their life. And I don't want no mess in my life. Y'all feel me? Okay. So anyway, I dirty deleted that video last night. So sometimes I do that if I like put up a video and I'm like, this isn't that good. Or I shouldn't have said that. I'll delete it. But for the most part, I'll leave them all up. So here we go. I'm going to read this meditation, okay? September 19th. In making a list of all the people we have harmed, which is step 8, some names come to mind at once, while others require more thought. Our 4th step inventory can help to refresh our memories. We can ask ourselves about situations in which each character defect might have led us to act in a harmful manner, and add those names of those concerned to our 8th step. We can also look at names already on the list and ask ourselves if we have behaved in a similar fashion towards others. Many of us discover previously hidden patterns of destructive behavior as a result of putting this list in writing. Even when our defects were not involved, we may have harmed others despite the most honorable intentions. Their names also belong on the list. Once we are clear about the harm we have done, it becomes possible to make changes and amends so that we can feel better about our behavior and about the way we relate to others. An 8th step list helps me to let go of guilt and regret I may be carrying from the past. I will approach this step with love and gentleness because I take it for my own freedom. Our actions have consequences, and sometimes other people get hurt. By taking step 8, we acknowledge this fact and become willing to make amends. Isn't that so cool? That I was like, so all of my actions here on YouTube, my actions, with my child, my actions with my husband, everything I do is going to have a consequence or a reaction, something that falls behind it, right? And so what I would like to do on my channel, cause and effect, right, is I don't want to have to go back. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm very prideful, if y'all haven't figured that out yet. And I don't like having to apologize to people. It's not something that I enjoy doing. Will I do it? Absolutely. Can I admit when I'm wrong? 100%. But I really don't like to have to go back because it's uncomfortable for me. I don't enjoy it. So I try to live my life by these principles that are laid out in the steps, so that way I don't have to go back and be apologizing all the time. If I just act right and be kind and treat others the way I want to be treated, then that same treatment will be reciprocated back to me. And so that's the whole deal with that, is like I just treat other people how I want to be treated. I don't go out of my way to hurt or harm anyone. I really try to just stick to myself here on my channel and just do the content that I enjoy doing and that helps me and in turn helps somebody else, which is just sharing my experience in my recovery and doing that with you guys. It really does help me a lot, and it helps me stay on the straight and narrow. So yeah, we can all, I learn from experiences here on YouTube, you guys, all the time. And sometimes like I'll fall into just like I was saying before, like drama and gossip. But 9 times out of 10, if you see me and I'm talking, if I'm commenting on a drama video or a gossip video, it's because I'm sticking up for someone I care about. Or it's because somebody I care about was sticking up for me. Like I don't just go searching for problems, The only time I really ever do that is whenever I'm sticking up for a friend because I care about people, I always had guilt for how my life affected my grandma. I was sick with it. Woody from Quapaw told me that it could be as easy as vacuuming the rug because she doesn't want to be mad or hold a grudge. That's right. She wants to love you. Exactly. And you know what? No man left behind. That's right, Angel. I like you. I like you, girl. I like that positivity. We got to help each other. We all have to, and that's the thing. That's what my channel is about for anybody that maybe is new or hasn't been here before. Like, I just want to have a place here where you can come and you can feel like you're not alone, and we can all connect here and we can all talk about what we've gone through and just support each other, and it's really important to me that people on my channel understand that, like, I do not judge anyone. I don't believe in judging people for the recovery route that they take, whether they are on medically assisted treatment, whether they are abstinent, whether they go to AA or NA, whether they say, I believe in Jesus, he saved me, and that's all I do now. I don't judge anybody for the way they get to where they're going, I think it's really important for people to know that this here on Real Talk Recovery, it's just an open forum. It's an open group. Anybody can join us. If you're struggling and you feel like, hey, I don't know how to get sober, I don't have any friends that are sober, what am I supposed to do? You can come over here and hang out with us. I have a Facebook group. It's called Real Talk Recovery, just like the YouTube channel, and you can join in there. And just all you got to do is reach out for help. A lot of people don't know if you're struggling, and that's the thing, you guys. Like, for the longest time when I first was trying to get sober, I almost expected people to like know that I needed help. And it's like they didn't know I was struggling. They didn't know I was ready to get sober. So I had to reach out and be like, hey, I need help. I don't know how to get sober. I don't know how to live my life. Can you please show me what I need to do? You know, it's hard, you guys, because everything inside of us, our addiction doesn't want us to reach out for help. Okay, my addiction wants me to stay isolated, hiding out in my house, tweaking out the blinds, calling my dope dealer. That's what my addiction wants me to do. My addiction wants me to drink myself into a coma. My addiction wants me to sleep around and, you know, sell my body. That's all the things that our addiction wants us to do, because those are the things that keep us away from the sunlight of the spirit, right? That's what keeps us away from connecting with other recovering addicts who are sober and our higher power, right? We come in here and we get to connect with each other, right? A fellowship of men and women, all right, we're like-minded individuals. We all need support and we're here to help each other, right? And then going further past that is when you connect with one certain individual, ask that person to help guide you, and then you learn how to connect with your higher power. And I'm telling you what, you guys, like, for a long time, I thought that I didn't think I was going to be able to get sober ever. Sorry, I never thought I was going to be able to get my life together, okay? I struggled for many, many, many years. And every time I think about how I was struggling, honestly, you guys, it was always because I didn't reach out for help. There were so many people around me that wanted to help me. There was my friends that were going to meetings. There were my friends that were like living their life sober, and they would call me to check on me, and I would push those people out of my life. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, sorry, I don't need you. I got this. And I really, really caused myself so much more pain and misery. And I really, really drug my addiction out a lot longer than it had to last, because I could not let go and let someone else help me, because I let my pride block me off, you know? And a lot of the times we don't even realize that's what it is. One of my girlfriends has a channel too, exactly, Stubborn, and she had posted something on Instagram about one of her subscribers had commented and said, how do I ask someone to sponsor me if I feel like I'm being judged because I'm riding the bus that's with the treatment center? Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but when you go to rehab, when you go to meetings outside of the rehab, they'll put you in this big white bus. Everybody always calls it the druggie buggy, right? So you get in the druggie buggy and you go to the NA or an AA meeting, and that's where you meet people who are sober with years of sobriety, and you can ask them to be your sponsor, right? That's what I did. I asked somebody to be my sponsor before I even got out of treatment. So I guess somebody had commented and said that they felt judged. And I'm telling you right now, my first reaction to that comment is, it's not all about you. Nobody's judging you because you're on the rehab bus. Every person inside of the AA or NA room, damn near every person has been on that rehab bus too. Don't make it about, nobody's even tripping on you. You being on that bus, nobody's judging you. In fact, you're the most important person in the room, is the newcomer. Okay? And so that's what our minds tell us. Our minds tell us, oh, everybody's staring at me. They're judging me. I'm so different than everyone in here. It's not that, you guys. That's what your addict mind is telling you, right? Your addict mind wants you to think that you're different and that everyone else is looking at you and staring at you and judging you, when nobody in the room is judging you at all. Everybody there wants to support you and help you. You know, there should not be any judgment at all from anyone inside of a meeting. But that's what our minds tell us, though, because we always have to be, and this is how I used to do it. I used to be just like this. our minds always tell us that we are so much different than everybody else, right? And they call it being terminally unique. Basically, you're so unique that you can't even get any help. And you're going to end up dying from your addiction because you think that you're so different than everybody else. But you're not. Y'all, I'm telling you something. I used to think the same thing. That's the only reason why I'm speaking on this. There's so many drug addicts that came before you that were the exact same way. There's so many drug addicts that came before me that was the same exact way. Okay? That's just our minds telling us we're different. That's part of the disease of addiction. Do you know what I'm saying? And I promise you, if you're going to a 12-step meeting, those people are so happy to see you walk through the door because you know what? They were once on that druggy buggy too. Girl, I used to love riding the druggy buggy. I used to have the best freaking time. We would get in there, we would turn on the rap music, and we would be rapping, and then we would change it over to the rock and roll station. We'd be rocking out. Man, I had some of the best memories on the druggy buggy. So don't let your mind tell you that you're so different than everyone else that everybody's judging you. Because like I said, nobody's judging you. Nobody's judging you. You're not even, honestly, they're not stunting. You're not even, they're like, wow, we're grateful to have the newcomer in here. But they're in there because they need to be at the meeting too, just like all of us do, right? Yeah, okay, exactly, hearts. And that's what you start to realize and learn. It's like we all feel like this, right? Okay. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you're so stupid because you think it's all about you. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you that I used to be the same way. And my sponsor had to sit down with me and she had to say, Nicole, like, why would you think that everyone is judging you? Why would you think that, you're so important that you're on all these people's minds? But that's how close-minded and how selfish I was. I was so selfish because of my addiction that I thought I was the center of everybody's thoughts wherever I went. Isn't that crazy? And I know you are the perfect example of someone who thought that it was all about them. Okay, so Missa was in treatment with me the first time I ever went to rehab, you guys. And we had to literally have a come to Jesus meeting. She had to sit in the middle of the circle while everybody in the treatment center basically told her to get over herself. But that's not anything new. That's what a lot of us do, right? And it's just because that's what addiction is, selfish and self-seeking, right? So when we're in our active addiction, that's all we do think about is me, right? And so when we're getting sober, those same behaviors, they trickle into our recovery. In the beginning of our sobriety, we're still struggling with those same behaviors. And so that's why when we get into our recovery, we got to learn how to live differently, and we have to learn how to change our thinking. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. I've totally been there. I used to think that I was on everybody's mind too, all the time. I used to think that everybody in the building, when I would walk into a meeting, my dog. I used to walk into a meeting and I used to think that all the people in there were going to turn around and look at me. Don't you know? Because I'm just so important. Everybody's like, there comes Nicole coming through the meeting. And honestly, I would make myself feel like everybody was doing that, but they weren't. That really they were there because they wanted to come to a meeting and get a good message, and they were happy to see me there. And every time that I've ever seen anybody else come in a treatment van, I'm always like, I remember those days, like this is the first day of the rest of your life. Like you are on your way to making changes in your life, and that is awesome. Hey Amy, hey Jamie. So yeah, I just like to, wanted to pop on here and do that meditation with you guys and then tell you guys that little story. So I think we all kind of like go through moments in our, especially when we're first getting sober, where it's scary because we don't know how to feel without drugs and alcohol inside of us. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, how many of you guys have, shut up, Jamie. How many of you guys have, okay, when you first got sober, wasn't it like so uncomfortable? Hey, Mom, you called me in the middle of my meditation, woman. You always call me when I get on a live stream, Mom. My mom's here, y'all. Say hi to my mom. That's my mom, Gina. What was I saying? Okay. It's a mom thing. It's like you always know when I'm coming on. So, okay. Why did I just forget what I was saying? Anyway, you guys. Recovery is a process. That's what I'm trying to get at. Recovery is a process. In the beginning, it's very uncomfortable, okay? Because you have all these feelings, all these emotions, anxiety, just different feelings that you've never, ever dealt with before. And so in the beginning, it can feel like a whole lot, right? It can be extremely overwhelming. I remember it used to be real bad for me. Like, I would go in, and this is how I know what it feels like to think everybody's looking at me, because I used to think that. I used to go in the grocery store just to get some milk and stuff, and my whole face and my neck would turn blood red because I would be so embarrassed, and I was so afraid that people were looking at me and people were thinking, oh, she's nervous, she's afraid, or they were looking at me thinking, she's sober, I can tell, and she's miserable. And it was all in my mind. But when you're going through that, like, anxiety and that overwhelming feeling of, it's like this overwhelming social anxiety, right? Whew, it was difficult. And so I had to start learning how to go into public and have regular conversations with people, you guys, sober. And I still struggle with having conversations with people sober. Okay. Hey, Classy. Hey, Megan. I met, like I was telling you guys last week, when I went out with took Nate to meet his friends for a play date, and I met the other moms. I was so nervous. I was so afraid because I didn't know what to talk about. Here are these moms. They drink, they're like moms that drink wine and stuff. And they're like PTA moms. And I felt like, what am I going to talk to these moms about? Like, I don't even, like, I'm a recovering addict. That's all I know is to say, hey, I used to shoot dope. What's your name? And I'm serious, you guys. Like, I was so afraid. I mean, I was so afraid I was having a panic attack before I went out to meet with these other moms, right? And so, oh my gosh, it was so hard, Angel. But I'm telling you what, the girl, her name was Nicole. The girl who was one of the girls, the one I met first, she was so kind, and she opened up to me about some like really personal stuff that happened to her when she was younger while we were sitting out there watching the kids play. And so I was like, okay, like, everybody has struggles, right? Everybody goes through something. And so I felt so comfortable. I was like, yeah, well, you know what? I've been through some stuff too, girl. And let me tell you about my life. And we just got to talking, and it was just a good time. They were just regular people like me. But I had built it up, you guys, to be so much more than what it was, But this is all like things that I struggle with being a sober person now, I try to avoid situations with people because I always think people won't like me or are talking about me, etc. Something I'm working on. I know, Megan, I'm the same way. And that's what we were talking about earlier. That's what our minds, a lot of us who are in recovery when we first get sober, it's like we're so used to thinking, or first of all, we're so used to having a lot of people upset with us and disappointed in us for our actions while we were in active addiction, right? And so we're also extremely selfish in our addiction. So it's always me, 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 me. So when we go into our recovery, we have to change and we have to learn a new way to be, you know? Oh yeah, Tara. My mom, she's always comes in here. Y'all will love her. We got a bunch of new people, Mom, so they're all getting to see you for the first time. And here's the thing, you guys. So when you're first getting sober and you say you're 6 months clean, 30 days clean, 15 days clean, okay? You don't have the drugs. You don't have the dope inside of you anymore. Because tell me, how many of you guys, when you were getting high, felt like you could talk to people easier, felt like you were more outgoing, felt like you had a better time? When I was high, especially at the beginning of my addiction, I was in the middle of everything, you know? I was in the middle of everything. And so drugs were like a buffer for me. So that here's me, here's the drugs, here's the people. So it's like it made it easier for me. I felt looser, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I can talk to these people. And so when you get sober, you're so not used to being sober that everything is so different. It feels different to talk to people. It's just totally different, you know? When I was high, I didn't care what people thought. That's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you, Megan. It's because when we're high, we don't give a damn what people think. So we can sit there and just do whatever we're doing. And now we do care because now we're sober, right? Now we don't want to make ourselves look stupid, right? So that's what it is. It's a process. So if you're sober and you're new to being sober, you guys, just know that, like, it's okay. Like, I was so uncomfortable for the first year of my whole recovery. Hey, Scottish. And then what happened is after I got 1 year, I started telling my story on Facebook. And then I started a YouTube channel. And this has been practice for me to talk to people because it's easy for me to get on here, put a camera on and talk. I could talk to the camera all day long. I could tell you guys stories for hours, right? Put me out in the middle of a bunch of women that are house moms and all that stuff, and I feel so out of place. So just know that whatever you're dealing with, it's totally normal and you're not alone. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry, Angel. A lot of us do struggle with anxiety, but you know, because I do struggle with anxiety and I do have an addiction, for me, I can't take like benzos, you know, because I'll just eat them all, you guys. So it's like really a lot of, if I can recommend anything to you guys that are on here, is get into a therapy, get yourself a good therapist, okay? A good addiction counselor, right? Somebody you can sit down, you can talk to once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, that you can just tell your whole life story to, that you can run stuff by. Get involved in some meetings, get a sponsor, get some kind of mentor, somebody you can talk to, right? A recovery coach. If you're not into the 12 steps, there's people that do recovery coaching, you know? How do we find someone we trust? So Angel, I'm going to tell you this, like, for me, the way I found somebody at the beginning was I went into a meeting and I asked a lady, she was about 60 years old, to be my sponsor. But honestly, people who are sober are going to want to help you to do right. And if you get into like a program like AA or NA, you can find a sponsor there. Or like here on my channel, we do like just our own recovery meetings that I do on Mondays and Fridays. And then I have the Patreon group with all the girls over there. And then I have a Facebook group. So, I mean, basically, you could get a hold of me anytime, basically. All you got to do is text me or message me on Facebook or message me on... but I recommend, like, if you're looking for somebody that can be your counselor or a therapist, like try a couple people out, try going to one person over here and one person over there until you find somebody that fits you. You know what I mean? If you're wanting to find like a recovery coach, here's the thing with recovery coaching. Anybody can be a recovery coach. I'm a recovery coach, okay? You got to find a recovery coach that fits what you need in your life, okay? You got to sit down and you got to talk with that person, because what you're going to be doing when you have somebody coaching you is you're going to be paying that person to coach you. Okay? So you got to find somebody that you're like, yo, I want to invest in my recovery, so I'm going to invest in this recovery coach, right? I truly believe that you can do anything. You can get the help you need for $0. Okay? I got the help I needed for $0. All right. Well, I paid for rehab, but that was out of my insurance. After that, everything else, I did it for $0. Okay, you guys. I went on Facebook. I found a whole group of people that were in recovery. There's the link to our Facebook group if you guys want to join it. But I went into Facebook groups just like Real Talk Recovery, and I met a whole bunch of really down cool women, and I made a group. And me and these like 6 women would do meditations in the morning. We would call each other every day. And I just like, seriously, you guys, like that was my support network. Those women and my sponsor, right? I did that for a whole year with those girls. And then I came over here and I made this channel. And I thought, well, shit, if I can do it with 6 people, then I can do it with a YouTube channel, and we can have like even bigger meetings and even bigger connections, So it's really, sometimes, that's the thing though, Angel, that's your mind telling you that you're burdening somebody. That's what everybody always thinks at the beginning. Tell her. All of the girls that I have worked with always think, well, I don't want to bother you, Nicole. Or I just feel like you've been so busy. Well, it's like, how do you think I stay sober? It's by helping other people, right? There's nothing that anybody has ever came to me and told me that I didn't have already went through myself, or know somebody else that went through it that I could connect that person with, right? So it's not burdening anyone. That's what we people are here for. We are here to make relationships with each other. Can you imagine the world if none of us ever talked to each other, if none of us ever got to know each other? Then what are we even here for, right? As human beings, we're here to like make relationships and be friends and help each other and support each other, right? My mom says, don't think that. That's a lie. That is a spirit of false pride, so you don't have to be accountable. Right. And that's the thing. And our minds will tell us, oh, well, it's just too much. They'll never understand what I'm going through. I know, because I was the same way, Angel. I was the same way. I would say the same thing. And because I would say that, I'm burdening them, or I don't want to call my sponsor because she's going to be mad at me, right? Or I don't want to call her because she's not going to understand. That was just me. It's honestly, you guys, it takes a lot of accountability, right? Hey, Adam, what's up? Welcome to the channel, man. It takes a lot to like reach out and get help, right? Reach out and say, hey, I'm struggling. I don't know how to live on my own. Can you help me? It's a lot of what it does to you is it's like takes away you're like having to admit that you need help, right? How many of us like to be like, yo, I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time, right? What do we think about in our minds when we have to admit that we're struggling? We think we're weak, right? We think that she's just weak. She just can't handle life on her own. Wrong. Guess what? It's not weak to reach out for help, right? It's courageous. It's strength. It's brave, right? Sitting in the shadows and struggling with your addiction and never asking for help and just killing yourself with dope and alcohol, that's the weak thing to do, right? Because that's what we already know how to do. Instead, we got to step outside of ourselves and reach out and get help. That's hard to do. But once you do it, You're going to keep on practicing it, right? You keep on calling, you keep on reaching out, you keep on talking. And the more you do it, the easier it'll get. But you've got to start somewhere. It's not just going to happen overnight, you guys. I'm going to tell you something. When I first started working with my sponsor, I would call her and then I would skip 4 days, right? I'd call her on the 5th day and she'd go, "It's about time." And I'd say, "Well, why didn't you call me and check on me?" And she said, "I'm not checking on you. It's your job to call me." Hey, Adam, you can do it, man. You can do it. Don't beat yourself up, okay? Asking for direction, but can't seem to put our crud on anyone. Right. And listen, here's the thing, you guys. Like, I know, you guys, because I did the same thing for many years, okay? From the time I was 17 years old to the time I was 32, I was in active addiction. From about 20 to 32, I was hitting it hard, okay? I went to prison. I lost my son to the state of Arkansas. I went to treatment 5 times. I was the queen of not asking for help and making excuses, okay? I could hustle us all out of any situation just on excuses alone. So believe me, I understand, okay? I understand. It is very difficult to let go and reach out for help. And the only reason it's difficult is because you are holding you back from doing it, okay? We are our own worst enemies, okay? We are the only person stopping ourselves from getting help. Because all up here, don't think about it, okay? You're overthinking the situation, all right? The only thing you should think about is, 1, I'm going to kill myself, okay? Alcoholism and addiction is going to kill you. 2, I need to get help. Screw what other people think. Fuck them. Fuck what other people think. This is your life, right? And that's how serious we have to get to it. That's how serious I had to get to it. I had to start looking at it like I can either get sober or I'm going to die, right? I can either reach out for help or I'm going to lose my son for the rest of my life and I'm never going to see him again. They're going to take my kid and they're going to terminate my rights. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's all in our minds, you guys. Please, please understand this. If you're struggling and you need help, all you got to do is reach out. If you message me or email me or DM me, I will do everything I can to help you find help. Okay? If you need treatment and you don't have insurance, I can help you find somebody that will scholarship you. Okay? If you need help signing up for your insurance and you don't know how to do it, all you got to do is message me and I will help you sign up for your insurance. Okay? You guys, I promise you that you're not bothering me. Okay? Maybe 1 out of 10 people will reach out for help. So when I do get a message from somebody, I respond right away because it's not every day that somebody actually reaches out for help. Now, I get messages, a lot about, "Hey, I love your channel, or, "Hey, where's the Facebook group?" But 9 times out of 10, it's just somebody like sharing their experience back with me, right? It's not somebody that needs help. So if you message me and you're thinking, "Oh, she's going to be so busy, she's not going to be able to help me," that's wrong. I promise you, if you message me and you're like, "I'm about to die, will you please help me?" Or, "Do you have any idea where I could get help?" I will do everything in my power to find resources to send you in the right direction. Okay? You just have to reach out and let me know, So, Adam, all you have to do is email me at demayon@yahoo.com. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to get where you're at and what state you're in, okay, and all that kind of stuff. We can figure it out together. And then I have a lot of guy friends who work in treatment. So, anything could happen. You just got to reach out, man. You're not ever alone. And do not let the disease of addiction trick you into thinking that you're alone, okay? Do not let, Because that's what addiction does, okay? It sits inside of you and sucks you motherfucking dry, okay? That's what the disease of addiction does. It wants you to die. It's killing you, all right? It's the devil, okay? It's darkness. It's sadness. It's sickness. That's all addiction, okay? You need to step out of that darkness over there and come out into the light. And once you get over to the light, then you reach out for help and you start following other people who have reached out to the light and gotten help. I'm telling you guys, I could go on and on and on, okay? And I don't mean to get emotional. Okay? But I'm just telling you, like, I've totally been there. I thought I was never going to get sober. I never thought I was going to get my life together. I thought I was going to die with a needle in my arm. And so I just know that if I can get my life together, if I can have a home and a car and my son back and a husband and a job that trusts me, a job that knows I'm not going to rob them blind, right? Then I know that you guys can do it too. So, I love you guys. Hey, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. The soul man. I love you guys. I just want you guys to know that, like I said, I'm always here. If you ever need to talk, all you gotta do is message me. I love hearing from you guys. And, you know, that's why I made my channel, because I love doing what I do. I love sharing with you guys, and I love helping people, and I love giving people hope and letting them know that, you know, I was hopeless, okay? I was absolutely hopeless. I had lost my family. My mom and dad had moved to New York. They didn't want anything to do with me. And now I have everything I ever lost in my addiction. Now I have it back in my recovery. And you can just see it. My mom, she comes to all my meetings. She's here in the comment section. My mom and my dad had picked up, y'all, and they had left. They went to New York. They said, screw this, we're out of here. We can't take it anymore. We're watching they were watching their daughter kill herself. So they fled the state. And now they're back. Right? But I got sober, you guys, and I had a year sober. And my mom and my dad said, come up to New York. We'll pay for your tickets. So me and my son and my husband, we got in a train and we rode up to New York. I swear to God, my parents did that because they wanted to see me face to face to make sure I was really sober before they came back to Arkansas. And guess what? They did that. Then they stayed up there one more year, and then they came back to Arkansas. And now they're back here, and we're all a big family again. But me and my sister Michelle, we were in our active addiction, and we were driving my parents were going to die because they were so worried about us. We were giving them heart attacks damn near. So I'm just telling you guys, like, if I can get all my life back, you guys can too, you know? Angel Anderson. Are you on Facebook, Angel? I'm so glad you did too, Adam. Welcome to the family. So here's the tea, y'all. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do a meeting. I hope you guys will come. We'll do a topic discussion if you guys want to. I will put a poll in the community tab after this video, and I'm going to give you guys 3 options to choose from, okay? And you guys pick what y'all want to talk about tomorrow night, okay? All right, you guys. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a really good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're struggling in your addiction and tonight you haven't gotten high, hang on. Don't get high. You can do this. Stay with us, because I don't want to lose you before tomorrow, okay? And you guys, anything can happen. You can do it, okay? Love you guys.